Hello, welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and I'm doing a read-along announcement for Cthulhu Christmas. This is the brainchild of Heather, the librarian, and Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. And the idea of this readathon is to read stories by H.P. Lovecraft. There is no set agenda. There is no syllabus. There's no too few stories or too many stories to read. You will read what you want, when you want, how you want to read it, and whatever format you want to read it in, whether it is print books, ebooks, or audiobooks. Your choice or your way to participate is to read at least one story by H.P. Lovecraft in the month of December. And we are going to start a Voxer group. If you want to join along in this read-along, send me a Voxer note to GEEMONT235. I will put that in the description below. So really, all you have to do is read stories by H.P. Lovecraft. I will list the announcements by Heather and Alan below. Heather has a very good reading schedule for this month. She has picked 5 superb stories by Lovecraft. They're some of my favorite. And I initially was thinking, I'm just going to read her story choices. And I may wind up reading some of them. But I'm not going to set in stone exactly what I'm going to read just yet, other than I plan to read at least one story per week in the month of December and read a Lovecraft story on Christmas Day, because why not? So, what are the possibilities for the stories that I'm going to read? Well, let's put down Cthulhu. You know, looking at Cthulhu, any sort of graven image is supposed to start irreversible madness in people. Now, are you going mad looking at plush or Cthulhu plush? I'm not quite feeling the madness, but there you go. So what stories am I going to read? Hold on. This is my collection of H.P. Lovecraft. I have 4 volumes in the Arkham hardcover series. And these are a great series of hardcovers if you can find them. I believe they are out of print, and I believe they are a little pricey. I bought these in the 90s, somewhere around there. So what do I want to read? I'm probably going to read the stories mostly out of the Dunwhich Horror and others. Let's take a quick peek. In the Vault, that was a story that I read in elementary school. It's creepy, but not his best. Pickman's Model, yeah, I kind of want to read Pickman's Model. Rats in the Walls, Heather's doing Rats in the Walls, and I kind of do want to read Rats in the Walls. But she is going to do, or she may do a reading of that story. The Outsider, yeah, okay, I got to do The Outsider. That is my early favorite of short stories. Color Out of Space, another one that Heather is doing, and another great short story. Although Stephen King was not too fond of the dialogue in that story. The Music of Eric Zann. I love that story. I think that's got to be one of the ones I'm going to do. The Old Man Playing His Music to the Window. If you read the story, you know what I'm talking about. It's a great, it may not be his best story, but I love it. Haunter of the Dark. I read that, was it earlier this year? I did read it earlier this year. That was for Horror Mayhem. Picture in the House. Yeah, that's a good story. I think I'll pass, though. Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, I think I'll read Call of Cthulhu on Christmas Day. The Dunwhich Horror. That's another one that Heather is doing. That's a strong possibility. Cool Air. I loved that story when I was a kid, but I think I'll pass. The Whisperer in the Darkness. That's a favorite of Michael K. Vaughan. As I remember, that's a really interesting story, and I think I will read that one. So maybe I am making my syllabus after all. Pickman's Model, Rats in the Walls, The Outsider, The Music of Eric Zann, Call of Cthulhu, and Whisper in the Darkness. I got too many stories already. What am I supposed to do? What stories should I read? It is so hard to decide. The Terrible Old Man. I'll pass on that. The Thing on the Doorstep. That's awfully tempting. His only story with a female character. The Shadow over Innsmouth. That's a story that you need to read because this group really does need to talk about H.P. Lovecraft's racism. He was an incorrigible racist. And it's rather inexcusable that a man that smart could be that much of a racist, but he was. And that story could not exist without his racism. And The Shadow Out of Time. Some people consider that his best short story. I'm probably going to pass for this December just because it's really long and I just want to read shorter short stories. So I got to pick out one story per week. I've said a lot of them that I think I'm going to do. If you have a favorite, mention in the comments. Also, if you have never read a Lovecraft story before and are tempted and are want to read one, join us this December. I've read most of his short stories. So if you want to buddy read a short story, I'll be there for you. Let's get people involved for Cthulhu and Christmas. Now, can I stick this on my wife's Christmas tree? I think she's not going to let me do it, but maybe I'll give it an old try to put on the Christmas tree. Thank you for watching, and keep on reading.